Let's bring in the former executive director for Draft Biden in 16 and former senior advisor to Bernie Sanders, Will Pierce. Will, thanks for being here. Let's focus on the Call Her Daddy podcast for a moment. You've got Americans literally trying to survive in towns destroyed by a hurricane. You have another hurricane on the way, and today is the 1 year, don't like to call it anniversary, but it marks 1 year since the October 7th massacre. With all that seriousness surrounding us, how does it look that Kamala Harris goes on a comedy podcast to talk about how she's feeling?
Well, Todd, this is the thing. All along during this election, this is what we saw from Kamala Harris. Instead of her focusing on the issues, going on even hard-hitting interviews or half hard-hitting interviews, even at that, she's sitting here and she's just trying to go after her base. If we have Harris as president, this is what we're going to see for another 4 years. Her ignoring the American people, ignoring their needs, and just taking care of herself. Here's
more of Harris explaining why she decided to do this particular interview. Listen.
Why should we trust you? So I'll say this. Look, you can look at my career to know what I care about.
I'm curious, like, you don't do too many long-form interviews. What made you want to do Call Her Daddy today?
Well, I think you and your listeners have really got this thing right, which is one of the best ways to communicate with people is to be real.
Be real, Will. She's clearly going for the female vote explicitly with this interview. They've got like 99% versus 1% female listenership. Is this going to work, Will?
I don't think it's going to work. And Harris actually said it right there. Like, if you want to elect her, you could just look at her record. Look at what she did in California. Look at what she did as vice president. Look at, look at the state of our nation right now. Overall, like my personal belief, and I believe it's the belief of countless Americans, we need to put America first. Instead, Harris is sitting here, just ignoring countless Americans down in North Carolina, down in Georgia. But at the same time, look at what's going on in the Democratic Party and in the United States overall. We see countless illegals being taken care of. We see Americans and the economy going down the drain, while Harris is sitting here saying, "Oh, there's joy, and we're a great country."
On the other side, Trump was met with a huge crowd in Butler, Pennsylvania for his big return to the site of the first assassination attempt. And Elon Musk took center stage. Listen.
This election could be decided by 1,000 votes, 500 votes, a tiny margin. So get everyone you know to register to vote. Just be a pest to everyone you know, people on the street everywhere. Vote, vote, vote. Fight, fight, fight. Vote, vote, vote.
Okay, so he asked, does Call Her Daddy podcast move the needle? We'll ask a separate question. Does Elon Musk move the needle, especially with the young male voter?
I think he does. The other thing, too, is this. Like if you look at Silicon Valley traditionally, they don't come out on the Republican side. Elon Musk actually took a step forward and came out in favor of Donald Trump. And then another thing on top of that, you can see he's putting money where his word is as well with his super PAC as well.
I wonder if this election is going to come down to a battle of the sexes. I mean, it sure seems like that's how the campaigns to a certain extent want to do it. But these are issues that reunite us all regardless of our gender. And I think that's what's important. I think if they focused on that, that's what the American people want to hear. Will Pierce, thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.